Okay, so let's all get up. Remember, use that hip hinge to get up. So let's go over some movements with our hips, keeping that posture in alignment all the way up to the top of our head. So first, make sure that stance is nice and symmetrical, all right? That's how we're going to start. Now we're going to focus on our hips, okay? So grab your hips right here. You can feel those hip bones. And we want to tilt our hips front to back. All right, I'm not necessarily moving my hips front to back. All right, I'm tilting them. All right, so I'm taking my hips out and under. All right, you see my shoulders, my head is staying still, trying to isolate this movement. All right, and it's a tough, awkward movement to learn, but once we get it, we'll have more body awareness. All right, next, the reason we do this is to find a pelvic neutral. All right, so we don't want to be walking around with our hips out all the time. We don't want to be walking around with our hips tucked under all the time, but instead we find our neutral position. Gives us that good posture. We can stand up. Okay, next we want to focus on our abdominal muscles. So if you want to make sure those abdominal muscles are engaged, you can almost feel your ribs right here and think about trying to tighten them down. Try to flatten them down. You'll feel your abdominal muscles tighten up. And then from here, let's rotate those thumbs out, pull those shoulders back, reach your fingers down so they're not up, they're down. And then you can actually relax your arms, keep your shoulders in that same position, but your arms can move around. And now I see a few heads that are forward a little bit, so we want to pull those chins back. Imagine in that top part of your head, the middle part, somebody's pulling it up as tall as you can, all right? And while they're doing that, you keep those shoulders back, all right? Keep those hips in a good position. And then from here, you can walk, you can move, you can carry, whatever it may be, all right? It's keeping everything, your joints, in a safe position, all right? Your body is resilient. Your body is strong when you use it properly, all right? And there are definitely some weak points, okay? We can eliminate the weak and critical points in your body by aligning our muscles, aligning our joints how we want to align them, okay? And that's what I want you to get from this, is how to align that, how to get those hips, abdominal muscles, back muscles, neck muscles to hold ourselves in that right position. All right, so real quick, let's do it again, okay? Feel those hips, a little tilt front to back. All right, so we feel our pelvic neutral in that position. Now I want you to have a little bend in your knees, and I want us to do a little side to side. All right, so our hips can move side to side too. We also have to find the neutral position in that way, all right? So like right here, that wouldn't be my pelvic neutral. I have my right hip up super high. So I want to pull it down, get them nice and level. Up and down, front to back, it's good. All right, abdominal muscles are engaged from here. Our back muscles, you can always remember, rotate those hands out, reach the fingers down, and that'll set those shoulders and shoulder blades in a really good position, good posture for you. Pull that neck back slightly, keep your chin down, so don't necessarily just pull the head back and do that, but you just pull it back, keep it up nice and tall. Should keep everything nice and healthy, how your body wants to move, okay? So, from here we're going to do a hip hinge, okay? Let's not grab the sticks quite yet. I'm going to show a way to do it in just a second. But, so let's work that hip hinge. Like I said, we want that movement to come from here, all right? Even if you can only go this far, that's fine. It's better to work smaller movements and do it properly than to worry about having a big range of motion. All right, so what you want to do, you're hinging through those hips. That is where all the movement is coming from. All right, so instead of using my back muscles back here, I'm using my strong glute muscles and my strong hamstring muscles, which can take a lot more of a load, okay? So hips go back, keeping everything engaged. My abdominal muscles are still engaged, my back muscles are still engaged, and I'm hinging the hips, all right? Now, if you want a little bit more, we're going to grab the sticks now, okay? So, with the sticks, what they do, it gives you a response. It's hard to tell if you're doing this movement correctly, but with a stick you can. What you want to do here is called the head, back, crack. All right? We have those 3 points of contact. We want the stick to be touching the back of our head, the middle back, and our right at our crack. All right? So, at first, it might not even be about the movement. It might just be to try to get ourselves to where we can have those 3 points of contact. Because after a while, just getting that contact is tough, okay? So, if you want a little bit, you want to keep those 3 points of contact, and you want to be able to use those hips for the movement. The stick isn't moving, I can keep it there even if I had to reach and pick something up. I'm not bending at the back, all right? So that's how it is. So like right there, your head came off a little bit. I'm going to keep that head back as you lean forward. All right. And same thing, if it comes up back here, that means there's some bend in your back somewhere. All right. So keep that in mind. Want to keep those points of contact. All right. Like I said, it's a tough movement. It's going to take some time to work on. Okay. So when the video plays, I want y'all to take your time through this to keep working on that movement. Okay. So now, going to be through with that. We're going to go ahead and take a seat, okay? Go ahead and take a seat. Let's go ahead and keep the sticks just because we already have them with us, all right? So keep the sticks in our hand, all right? So first thing, we're going to have them out in front of us. So if it was tough for you to engage those abdominal muscles, you weren't quite sure how to feel for it, or, you know, just it's tough to get them going, this right here is an exercise that'll force you to use those muscles. So, of course, in our chairs, we're sitting up in them. We're not using the backs, all right? So, we have muscles for our posture, all right? I'm going to make you use those in this class, okay? So we're going to stay seated up. We don't need a backrest. And now our stick's going to be out in front of us, hands together, all right? I want you to keep your hands out in front of you. I want you to try to push that stick down into the ground. And when you do that, you'll feel your abdominal muscles tighten up, get nice and stiff. And I want you to relax for a second. Good. Okay? The next one that we're going to do, it's even tougher. If that was enough for you, just do it the same way. The next one, we're going to have a little bit of space in between our feet while we push down. Okay? So here we go. We're going to push down into that stick, and you might feel your feet lifting up off the ground. Now you definitely have a lot of engagement right here. And relax. Good, good. Doing great, you're doing great. All right? So, now let's do some more movement. We're going to do a lot of movement stuff today, okay? Especially for the upper back and mid back, okay? So, let's do this movement. It's great for the shoulder blades to get them moving around that rib cage, okay? So, palms up, kind of a wider grip. I want you to sit up nice and tall. Pull those elbows back. And I want you to extend those hands out in front, about shoulder height. Slowly start to raise it up. Keep your arms straight, all right? The moment your arms start to bend and do this, I want you to stop and try to straighten it back out again. Raise it up as high as you can. And good, back down. And pull in. Good, so I see a couple of the ends of some sticks a little higher, it's a little tilted some way, so keep that in mind. We want to work everything very balanced in here, okay? So now let's extend those hands back out. Raise those hands up, arms extended away from you. Good, and back down, and pull in. Good. Okay. Relax just for a second. We're going to put this out to our left side now. Out to our left side. All right, this is going to be a new exercise, okay? So what this is, it's going to teach us shoulder rotation and how to properly set our shoulder blade into the right position, all right? So what we're first going to do is we're going to rotate it forward. You see I have my shoulder forward here, all right? Then we're going to focus on turning it down. You might even feel your rib cage get pulled down and around slightly, all right? So let's do it up and then down, all right? Almost like you can also think about your elbow almost pointing towards the ceiling and then taking your elbow and try to have it down towards the ground. Does that make sense? All right, up and down. So this is called a scoop of your shoulder blade. When you scoop it down, this is actually a really good position for that shoulder blade to be in. All right, one more time, up, and then we scoop it down. And I want you to keep it scooped so it's nice and relaxed. It's in that down and locked position right now, and I can still move around my arm, whatever it may be, okay? So take it out to the right now. Same thing. You kind of roll that shoulder forward, and then we roll it underneath. This is a more complex movement too. It's a tougher movement to learn, all right? We're forward and back. Forward and back. Good. Forward and back. One more time. Forward and back. Same thing. We want to scoop that shoulder blade down. All right. Then you can relax the arms here. Still have both of those shoulder blades in that down and scooped position. All right. Which is a good position. You want
go.
Yeah. Keeping my neck still. I'm really focusing on that. Yeah, just like that. And it's a good thing for you to think about, like the elbow is up, elbow is down. And that's working that rotation in the shoulder and scooping the shoulder blade. All right? We're going to be done with the sticks for today, okay? We're through with the sticks. We're going to work a lot of movement now, okay? A lot of movement, different exercises here. So, like I've said before, I want to say this one more time before we get moving, is over time, those muscles start to get in a stagnant state. They want to lock up on us. They don't want to be very flexible. They don't want to move on us, especially if we've rounded those shoulders. Those back muscles have been stretched out for such a period of time that the muscles, instead of being able to contract and shorten and lengthen like they want to, they're actually just locked in this position. But with movement, with forced movement, we can slowly start to break that apart and get some good movement from our shoulders. All right, so we're going to work a lot of that movement right now. All right, so first one we're going to do, we need our hands on our hips. All right, we're going to think about bringing those elbows forward and then pull those elbows back. Good, we're sitting up as tall as we can here. All right, elbows forward, elbows back. Good. Keep those shoulders nice and steady. I see a little tilt in a couple people, so keep it up nice and tall. All right. Forward and back. Good. All right. I want us to get our hands interlocked behind our necks now. All right. This is going to work more the upper back. A lot of times these muscles are the ones that are stretched out, so it might be a little bit tougher for you, but as much movement as you can with the arms will be beneficial. All right. So behind our neck, trying to bring our elbows together. All right. Of about chin height or so. And then we want to take those elbows as far apart as we can. Good. Elbows together. And apart, pull apart. You'll feel those upper back muscles tighten up. And then together, one more time, and pull apart. And good. Relax back down. Relax those hands down. Shake it out. All right, good, good. All right, we're sitting up tall in our chairs. Good, good posture. All right, reach those fingers down towards the ground while still keeping your shoulders nice and broad. So a lot of times when you reach down to the ground, you want to try to reach as far as you can. But instead we want to keep sitting up, reach it down. And now raise your shoulders up, keeping everything else still but your shoulders. And down. Good, raise the shoulders up. And down. Good, up. And down one more time. up. Good, really reach it down here. And good, this is good position, all right? So instead of having those shoulders, you know, scrunched up like this, better to make that conscious effort and keep them down, all right? Will help keep those shoulders healthier, all right? One thought about that is that you have something called the old craning process right here at your shoulder. You know, you have a ball and socket joint, and right above it is that process. So as you start to shrug, as those muscles tighten up, all right, it gets closer and closer to that bony process, and you raise up, ooh, that hurt. Then that's typically what happens, all right? So keep them down, keep working that movement, okay? We're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to raise one hand up towards the sky as high as we can. We're going to take one hand down. So one thing I don't want to see here is like this, all right? I want to keep the center line of my body nice and straight. As we're reaching, I'm still long arms out in front like this and alternate them. Good, and then back out in front. Switch. Good. Keep the body still. Learn how to isolate movements. When we can isolate certain movements, certain joints, we'll have much better body awareness. And that increased body awareness is going to help us live our lives healthier and better. All right, and let's relax back down. Relax those arms. All right, don't relax too much, meaning don't let that middle back go to the back of that seat. All right, stay sitting up. So keep that natural arch in the back, using our muscles to keep that natural arch. All right, so don't want to wear you out too quick. All right. So now let's go palms forward, just like this, reaching down so those shoulders are down. Don't have yourself like this. Think about a big chest, all right? Big chest, fingers down, raise those hands up, palms about shoulder height. I want you to think about taking your thumbs as wide apart as you can. Keep your palms up. Good, back together. Good, back out wide, reaching wide as you can. Good, and together. We're going to do it one more time. Apart. Good, together, and down. Good, good. So, our body works in sync with one another. As we get those rounded shoulders and our back muscles start to get stretched out and lengthened over a period of time, what that does to our chest muscles is it tightens them up, it contracts them. So as those muscles get longer, these muscles get shorter. So we also want to work on stretching, having that big chest, using those back muscles to give us those broad shoulders. That is really important, especially during these exercises, that we're not just keeping everything like this and we're moving, you know, we want to have everything nice, you know, nice and broad, okay? So now let's grab our bands, okay? Let's grab those bands. All right. We're going to do an underhand grip, kind of a wide grip here, okay? I want our hands for this to go as wide as we can, so when we spread this band out, we're all the way out here, okay? But I want there to be some pretty good tension on it, okay? So keep it in a straight line out in front of you, all right? Pull that band apart. Good. And back together, controlling it. Also pay attention to if one side starts to go up and the other. All right, we want to bring it back to center. All right, so here we go. Pull it apart. Control it together. Perfect. Let's do two more. We're sitting up in our chairs. Remember, keep those hips back. And good. One together. Last one. Pull apart and together. Good. Feel free to just put it down for a second. Get those moving. All right. Do one more exercise with these, this time with the close grip. All right. This time with a close grip. So, all about constant tension right here. All right. Hands out in front. All right, just like this. Pull that band apart. Try to feel that tension and relax it back together. Good. So you'll feel those muscles tighten up back there, the upper shoulders and down, and pull apart and relax one more time. Pull, hold it for a second, feel those muscles nice and tight, and then relax it together, get down, good. So those muscles might be feeling it back there. They might be a little bit sore. It's because they've probably been underutilized, all right? We need to use those back muscles to keep those shoulders broad to prevent us from having, you know, forward rounded shoulders or rounded upper back, all right? We need to use those. So let's be done with our bands, okay? Be done with the bands. So now we can take it into some stretching, okay? Go into a little bit more about how stretching can help us, but it's not necessarily a cure-all, okay? So let's start with our hamstrings. I'll talk you through it while we do a hamstring stretch. Let's kick out our left leg first. All right, left leg, and we're up in our chairs for this. So really, I just have my hips on the chair, have a straight leg, and for this, I want you to sit up as tall as you can. Almost think about pushing those hips back and down into that chair. I'm sitting up nice and tall, and you should feel that stretch nice and deep here, but if that's not enough for you, make sure you're still sitting up tall. You can do a little hip hinge forward. It won't take much. It won't take much, which is good. So this is a great way to stretch out those hamstrings without having that flexion in our back. All right, we can still sit up nice and tall and get the stretch that we intend to get, okay? Good, make sure we're breathing throughout the stretch. And good, let's bring that leg in. Let's take out our right leg now, okay? Same thing, we're sitting up nice and tall. That's what, you'll probably start to feel it as you try to sit up, all right? Legs out, we're breathing through this. Good, you should feel it on the back of your leg. A lot of times with tight hamstrings, it pulls on our hips, typically translates to tight lower back muscles, and then you have the back pain, getting up out of the chair, whatever it may be. So this hamstrings could be affecting your lower back, all right? I know you're feeling this stretch down here, but it could be a part of some lower back problems. So the more we stretch it, the more we get some good, safe movement with it, the better off both of those should be. All right, let's bring that leg back in. All right, we're sitting up nice and tall again. We can do a little twist, all right? Little twist over to our right. So I'm still up nice and tall, all right? I'm not leaning into it, all right? Still up tall, broad shoulders. I'm getting some movement in my thoracic spine, which is my middle part of my spine, all right? Good, nice and slow, over to the other side, all right? Good. All right, so let's come back to the front. So we just got a little bit of stretching for those muscles around here in the thoracic spine. Now I want us to get some movement for it, all right? So hands out to the side. Keep those hands in a straight line. Keep both of your hips down on the chair. And we've done this before, all right? You see I'm gonna lean, and that movement's coming from here. My shoulders are still staying, flat, and then I go to the other side. So make sure when you're doing this, we're not doing this, all right? We're keeping everything upright, and we're getting that movement in our thoracic spine, okay? And over, and over. All right, so my hips are staying, still on the chair. My shoulders are staying flat. Good, looking good out there. And lower it back to the middle, lower it down. Good, I know, holding those arms up for that long can tire out those shoulders a little bit. But you're doing great. All right, let's take our left arm up. Left arm up, use your right hand, I want you to grab the wrist, all right? So we're grabbing that wrist. With the right hand is gonna pull across the body. All right, from here, as we're pulling with that right hand, I want you to breathe deeply. Fill up those lungs. You'll feel your rib cage expand, get bigger, and down and out. And good. We just want to relax through this. And good. Bring it back in. All right. Let's take our right arm up. Use your left hand to grab the wrist. Your left hand grabs the wrist. And now your left hand is pulling that right arm out wide. Once again, we're breathing deep. And good. Back to the front and relax. All right, feel free to, move your shoulders, move those back muscles around a little bit. Stay sitting up tall for me. Stay sitting up tall. Keep those shoulders even, nice and square. Sitting up, they're broad. Good. All right. Now, so I've already said this before, our chest muscles typically get tightened up as our back muscles and our upper back starts to arch, all right? So we want to make sure we get a good stretch for these muscles, okay? How we're going to do that is take our left hand out, all right? Take it as far back as you can. You see, I'm still keeping my chest and my shoulders pointed towards you, so I'm not just doing this, all right? Keeping like this. Take it as far back as you can. Let those fingers go back, all right? And now I want you to even look over towards the right, all right? You might feel it down your arm. You might feel it in the front of your shoulder, in your chest a little bit. Make sure we're trying to sit up as tall as we can here. And good, relax it to the front. Good job, good job. All right. Same thing now. Out wide with the right hand, as far back as you can, staying square to the front. Let those fingers go back. And now we're going to look over to the left, okay? We're breathing through this. We're sitting up tall. We're still trying to keep those shoulders out in front. Feeling that stretch on the front of your body over on that side. Good. Back to the front. Good. Relax for a second. Sit up nice and tall. We're not using the backs of those chairs. All right. So, somebody did ask me one time about, whoa, should I sit in a chair like that all the time? Well, maybe not necessarily. If you want to sit in that chair all the time, it's going to take a lot of conscious effort for that mid to lower back not to, stroke down, because after a while we stop paying attention to it, and our body wants to take the easy way out. But to keep it healthy, to keep it strong, we can't always take the easy way out with our body, okay? So, if you are sitting in a chair, make sure those hips are all the way back into the chair, and then you can relax without having that mid to lower back slouch down, okay? So from here on out, if you're sitting in a chair, make sure those hips go all the way back, and then you can relax and still keep everything in a relatively good posture.
And not all chairs are created equal as far as the back angle is.
Very true, very true. So you'll just have to use some of the knowledge from this class to make sure everything is aligned properly. So, some chairs have neck like this, when really we're going to have to pull it back and keep it like this. No, it's just using some of the techniques that we've learned in here. All right.
And if you get your butt to the back of the chair,
sometimes the mid back still goes
straight, like we would have on the front. That's still got to be a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. As long as you're keeping everything in mind with the movement, all right, with the posture. Okay. So now we want to make sure our neck's doing good. So sit back up in our chair. Sit back up. All right. Here we go. We're up nice and tall. Okay, so I want to turn to the side for you real quick. This is my neutral position, all right? Just like your pelvis, your head has all of these movements it can make, okay? But we don't want our head, like this most of the time out of the day. We want to have it in a proper alignment. So we got to find that neutral position once again, okay? So to do that, let's work our ranges of motion, all right? So front to back, we're going to extend our head forward, keeping the shoulder still. Then we're going to pull it back. All right? So, once again, as we're doing this movement, we're finding our neutral. All right? For this, our neutral is going to be a little bit further to the back. It's not going to be like this, but it's going to be more like this, okay? From here, we can tuck our chin down and up without necessarily our neck moving, all right? Down and up, and the same thing, we want to find that neutral. So it's not like this, not like this, right in the middle, all right? And then from here, once we get this in good position, we're going to go to our right and to our left. All right, just work a little left to right. You might even notice you have a range of motion bigger on one side compared to the other, all right? That's fine, you have some tightness in the neck muscles, all right? Got to work some good movement. You got to keep your posture good here, okay? And like out here, I see some neck movement, but I also saw some shoulders raising when you do that, all right? Keep those shoulders back and down, left and right, up and down, front to back, all right? From here, we got our neutral position, all right? So that's it, all right? Real quick, I want to leave y'all with this, okay? Going through it one more time real quick. Always, when you're walking, you're paying attention to your posture. Make sure you get the good stance, okay? Pay attention to how you distribute your weight. We're not on our toes or heels, all right? From here, we can make sure those hips are in that right alignment, both directions. And make sure those abdominal muscles are turned on nice and strong. Back muscles, pull those shoulders back to give us that good broad shoulders, to give us the big chest, all right? And then from here, with the neck, front to back, left to right, up and down. And then, with that, you are good to go, all right? So good job, everyone. Thank you, thank you.